I like to listen to multiple perspectives on a matter before I make a decision about it. Some people get frustrated by this. They want certain voices to be silenced, or they don't want you to really pay attention to things that are contrary to their beliefs, or even possibly just listen to the opinions of people who are stating something that's just misinformation or non-factual. But every once in a while I want to because I don't ever want my thoughts to be rigid. I want to because I want to understand how people get to thinking the things they think, even if I fully disagree with them or they're not factual based. And I also very much think that it is bad for a person to be in an isolation. And it doesn't have to mean, oh, I'm in a room by myself. It can mean isolated with your own thoughts and beliefs, and you never challenge them. It's really important to me to know why I believe what I believe, and not simply that I believe it. And I have very strong convictions. I have pretty intense morals. I look at challenging them, and it doesn't make them weaker, it makes them stronger. It is okay to look at something and say, hey, you know what? With this new information, I've learned something new here. I changed my mind about this particular issue, or I am adjusting how I thought about this particular issue. It is okay to do that. But the majority of the time, you're going to encounter information that actually reinforces to you that, holy crap, yes, I am glad I have these morals. Take any information you come across, a book, a person giving a speech, a, news article, whatever it is, any piece of information, and leave the bad and take the good. You can learn something from almost anything, even if it's, I don't want that. It's really important to know what you want and what you don't want. It's really important not to get caught up in fads, and to instead genuinely know why you feel the way that you feel. It's important to have freedom of speech, and some people really seem to want to shut certain voices off. Now, there is something to be said for a voice that is trying to incite violence, incite cruelty on other people and illegal things, and trying to convince other people to be influenced to do those illegal things. That's not good. That needs to be judged by a court of law as the illegal thing that it is. There is actually such a thing as defamation. It's just really hard to get to. There is such a thing as convincing people to do wrong things. It's just really hard to prove. That being said, the majority of the time, almost everything everyone says is not that. The majority of the time, people either are trying to get a rise out of someone, or they are just so enthusiastic that their zeal comes across as like aggressive, or people are trying to feel like they're part of something. I see that a lot. People really wanting to be feeling like they have a purpose. That makes sense to me because it seems like there's a lack of things that are fulfilling in consumerism, which is hilarious because we consume so much and almost none of it is actually fulfilling. But the point being, people, they say stuff for a lot of reasons. Take the good and leave the bad. Learn from whatever is going on. Don't just say, okay, well, here I've gotten some information, I guess I'm just gonna take this and go with it. Learn. Always have a hunger for learning, because you can learn good things from bad people, and you can learn bad things from good people. Truly good people. One of the people I admire the most is so irresponsible, and it is frustrating for me. Their lack of responsibility is beyond irksome, and yet I admire the crap out of them They are one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. They are so motivating, and they always find solutions to even what feels like an impossible problem. They are creative, and because of their way that they think, they do take on too much, and they drop balls, and they get irresponsible. But it's not because they're a bad person. They're actually a really great person. They're well-intentioned, and they create so much good influence in the world. But they're also super irresponsible. And I can accept that they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be flawless to be a truly good person. Even when their irresponsibility has caused me distress, it still doesn't change that they overall are a good person that I learn good things from. Most people are not black and white. It is extremely rare to encounter a person who is all the way over toward bad or all the way over toward good. We have so much different dynamics and layers inside of us as human beings. We can learn so much from each other. It is self-defeating to cut off sources of information. Now, this doesn't, again, include people who are encouraging or committing violence, who are abusive, who are cruel. I'm not talking about those people. But again, those are the minority of people. Don't rob yourself of the experience of encountering the majority of people on the planet because you're scared of a very small minority of people on the planet. Just pay attention and be aware and learn. Take the good, leave the bad.